There's an assault taking place on reality, which we're going to get into. I got some clips talking about that. It's crazy, man. See, the way that you stay grounded and able to make good choices and navigate, negotiate your way through life is you got to have a good idea of reality. When your reality starts getting distorted, it messes with you. I look at the condition that my father's in right now, and he's not able to make sense of what is real and what it isn't, which is a horrible state to be in. But he's also cognizant enough to understand he's in that state. So it's almost torturing when you can't trust what you see, what you hear, what you think your eyeballs looking at. And the Democrats and the liberals, and when it comes down to, and I'm talking about those extreme liberals, I ain't talking about I'm just a Democrat voter. I'm talking about folks that are so far out there that they've embraced a false sense of reality. And they try to thrust that on you. If humans can't gather and understand what is real and what isn't, you have a hard time making good choices. I mean, that's messed up. I see my father sometimes, and he'll be like, I think I could drive again. I said, Dad, I don't know about that. Just a minute ago, you were seeing something that's not real. So how can you trust what your eyes are seeing if you're out there driving and you say, all right, that looked like a dog that ran across the street, but it's not? Or how do I know it is? You have a hard time trusting what you see. Now, the fake news have gotten a lot of people to that point where they question initially what they see, because we've seen them try to distort reality so many times. Where Jim Acosta was in there with Trump talking like, Mr. President, why you keep calling it an invasion, Mr. President? It's not an invasion. Jim, I saw them on the wall. They're not actors, Jim. You're trying to get us to believe that what we're seeing is not real. They're trying to distort our reality. We've seen it when all of those fires were burning in the background, and they talking about about mostly peaceful protests. I want to be clear. It's mostly peaceful. And I'm saying, you're trying to distort my reality. And they have successfully done this in so many categories and in so many other people's lives. Thus, we have people running around saying the craziest stuff that you're looking around saying, how did you come to this conclusion? You think zombies are walking around, people just get bit and COVID kicks in and they start slobbering and spitting and chasing folks around? We should see bodies piled up. But they create the false reality through bombardment, suggestion, manipulation, gaslighting, you name it. They do it because, unfortunately, it works. Before we get into this video, make sure you hit like, share my videos, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Also, make sure that your notifications are on and they're set to all. Now, let's get into this. But first, quick commercial break. Now, with inflation at 8.6% and climbing, you're going to need some help to get back to financial safety. Call them, and Noble Gold experts will share their knowledge of gold IRAs so you won't have to worry about a thing. Don't you worry about a thing. And if you quick, they're giving away an incredible 1/10 ounce American gold proof coin with every qualifying IRA or 401k rollover. You can't go wrong with Noble Gold. And all you got to do is call the team right now at 877-646-5347 to find out more, or you can just visit noblegoldinvestments.com. Now, let's get to this video. This man right here, y'all recognize him? Let's hear from Crying Van, okay? Because Crying Van, he had a different take on reality when Joe Biden got elected than he does now.
It's
Get it out. Let it out.
Well, it's easier to be a parent this morning. It's easier to be a dad. It's easier to tell your kids character matters. It matters. Tell them the truth matters.
Tell them the truth, man. Now, y'all see that bald head? Somebody go get me some hair to stick on that head. That man don't deserve that bald head. Man enough to be rocking that. Don't you be getting on no thing on CNN, boo-hooing and spitting and snotting for nothing. Nothing. So here this character matter. It's good to be a father in America today. Okay, here we go.
Being a good person matters. And this is a big deal.
It's a big deal.
For us just to be able to get some peace.
Peace? Peace what? What are you talking about? No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. Hey, Van, how did that work out? with Dango and Joe Biden and the Democrats still dividing us, still encouraging angry mobs to harass folks, just destroying the whole country. Are you at peace with the gas prices, huh, Van? Huh? You at peace with that? You at peace with the inflation, huh? What about those soldiers over there that lost their lives in Afghanistan? You think they were at peace, huh? Joe probably didn't even say rest in peace. We didn't see him hardly do anything and didn't even take the blame. This man still thinks that was a good choice. So what are you talking about, Van? I wonder if he's going to eat those words. Here we go, because this was before. This was right after Joe was put in place. Here we go.
And have a chance for a reset.
Oh, you got a reset. Yeah, you got a great reset coming. That's what you got, Van Jones. Sound like a car trying to start. Dang on it. So now here he is talking about some chance for a great reset. This ain't the kind of reset you thinking though. See, Van, a lot of folks thought, well, now things are about to change. I had a friend on Facebook talking about some now that Joe's in office, man, things are about to change. You're right. I haven't heard a peep from that dude since Joe was installed. It changed all right for the worse. That's like being on an airplane and I mean, you're flying, soaring, great, climbing altitude, and all of a sudden you're like, man, something about to change. And you hear, this is the captain speaking, prepare for a crash landing. Yeah, it changed all right. Not a good one. Talking about something I'm ready for a change. You ain't Michael Jackson. I'm gonna make a...
Sure, the country matters. And being a good man matters. I think for African-American voters in particular, there's a special heartbreak because, first of all, the pain is more intense. The rising gas prices, food prices, it's really walloped the black community in a particular way.
Was that the change that Van was talking about? That pain at the pump? Yeah, see, this is when the rubber meets the road. Things get real when they show up in your pocketbook, see. When you're running around chasing a false reality, which is racism is the biggest threat in America, and sexism and xenophobia and homophobia, you're chasing that stuff that is really imaginary. It's boogeyman. You'll never catch the boogeyman. You'll never catch him. He's designed to not be caught. He's designed just to scare you into doing what you're supposed to be. You go to bed or else the boogeyman gonna get you. Clean your room or else the boogeyman is gonna get you. That's what they do. They use those issues as boogeyman. But then the real stuff show up in your life. When you talking about, I went to pick my 7-year-old up from school and he brings a pamphlet home saying, I have to use this pronoun now, Dad. And then the people at the school told me that I was gender 2. But see, it's 2 out of like 2 million. That's when it shows up and it's real. And you're going, whoa. I thought I was just fighting and chasing racism and stuff. No, you're chasing some stupid stuff while the Democrats and the liberals and the globalists are really making some change that you ain't gonna like. You ain't gonna like that type of change. Trust me, Van. You won't be in that 1%. He's probably way down on the totem pole.
But the hopes were so much higher.
Yeah.
And so you have a community that came out in huge numbers in 2018, huge numbers in 2020, expecting things to get a lot better, and instead, economically at least, it didn't come true. It got worse. And so you're going through a summer now of real heartbreak with black voters. The polls show that. And I think Biden's got to take it very seriously.
And you got to come see us when you come to New York, VP Biden.
Remember this?
I will. It's a long way until November. We got more questions.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
That one should have done his career in right there. This is what I mean. When you can have powerful media entities shape and formulate the opinions of people, they will make Trump look racist and make a racist look non-racist. This man said that. He took heat for maybe a week and they swept that mess right up under the rug for him. And all of a sudden, all of these hypersensitive people that's smelling and sniffing racism everywhere you go. You can smell that right up under your nose. See, you so deep, so spooky and spiritual. You so pro-black and power to the people. That racism snuck in right up under your nostrils. And you like, you smell something? Yeah, I do. I smell this dude belittling our intelligence, our self-worth. He's using the racism of low expectations. This dude assumes that he just owns every black person. You don't vote for me, you ain't black. But you so deep. Power to the people. Ooh, nah. Theme music every time you come into the room. The African drums. And then somehow, after seeing this, took took your butt down there and still voted for this man. Just like that. Burns me up. Yeah, you ain't black.
It plays into the false notion that Democrats own the black vote and don't have to earn the black vote.
Yeah.
Furthermore, a privileged white man does not get to dictate what is and isn't black.
You're right, sister. Now, isn't that ironic that somehow they create the perception that every other white person, with the exception of the Democrat Party, and I'm talking about them Democrat politicians, are white, privileged, systemically racist. And I'm saying, how did y'all escape all of that? How in the world did you get excluded from being a white privileged man? How are people able to look at you and not see the patriarchal white supremacist? They don't see that? Do you understand the level of distorting reality that you have to have before a white privileged man can point at another white privileged man and say, that man has white privilege. I'm rich as he is, if not richer. I ain't worked a job. I'm just simply pandering to you all and telling y'all I love you guys. I'm there for you. But because he's not, then he has white privilege. But I don't. Don't throw me in the category. It's that same white man over there. And the bad part about it, this white man does nothing to help the minorities. He's constantly praising and saying, I got your back. But then the white man, and I'm going to use Trump for an example, the one he swapping down was white privilege, white nationalists, and this and that, did more for black people than Joe has done all his life for black folks. In fact, he's done negative stuff for black folks. But that right there comes down to distortion of reality. All you're doing is saying, even though you heard what Joe said, even though you know the history of the Democrat Party, even though you know about Margaret Sanger, even though you know Lyndon B. Johnson said, yeah, if we're going to have those, you know what's voting for us, we're going to have them voting for us for the next 200 years. Even though you're aware of all that, even though you know Creepy Sleepy got up there, I don't want my kid growing up in a racial jungle. Even though you know all of that, somehow they was able to distort your reality, manipulate your knowledge of all of this, and you still come to the conclusion he's better than Trump. Let's go vote for him. And now look what you got.
I think for African American voters in particular, there's a special heartbreak because, first of all, the pain is
got a heartbreak.
It's easier
There is again.
to tell your kids character matters. It matters.
It matters.
Tell them truth matters.
Truth matters. How much does it matter now? When inflation is going completely out the roof. Talking about, easy to tell your kids that I was dumb when I went and voted for Joe Biden and messed us all up. God bless you. God bless America. Don't forget to hit that like button, share my videos, find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all those good things. And please check out Extreme Teas, my sponsor. If you like their products, please click on the link below this video. Put Kevin in a promo code. You'll get a 20% discount. If you'd like to donate to Kevin's Corner, feel free. The links are below this video. If you want to be a part of my $2 a month club, also feel free to do that. All it entails is you simply dropping $2 a month into one of those links below the video. Or if you want, you can drop a nice big fat lump sum in there to offset the stuff that we know goes on with big tech. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. Make sure that you are still subscribed. And finally, set your notification button to all, because YouTube is playing games, y'all. Now, God bless you. God bless America. See y'all next time in Kevin's Corner.